On Monday, there will be more talks because, of course, the talks yesterday have only yielded more talks. They'll be taking place in Strasbourg, the other seat of the European Parliament I'm standing in front of right now. They'll be led by Michel Barnier, the chief negotiator for Brexit on the European side, and by Stephen Barclay, Theresa May's Brexit secretary on the British side. No indication after those 4 meetings with 4 officials here in Brussels yesterday that there would be any significant concessions from the European side in response to Theresa May's efforts to get legally binding changes to that insurance policy guarantee known as the Irish backstop. She, though, gave it a pretty positive spin in a conversation with BBC immediately after her meetings here.
We've had a good series of meetings today. We've had robust discussions, but they've been constructive. What I've set out is our clear position that we must secure legally binding changes to the withdrawal agreement to deal with the concerns that Parliament has over the backstop. And taking that, changes to the backstop, together with the other work that we're doing on workers' rights and other issues, will deliver a stable majority in Parliament, and that's what I will continue to push for. Now, it's not going to be easy, but crucially, President Juncker and I have agreed that talks will now start to find a way through this, to find a way to get this over the line and to deliver on the concerns that Parliament has, so we get a majority in Parliament. And I'm clear that I am going to deliver Brexit. I'm going to deliver it on time. That's what I'm going to do for the British public. I'll be negotiating hard in the coming days to do just that.
So they've agreed to disagree when it comes to the withdrawal agreement, and what they've said on the European side is that they're open to changes to the political declaration. That's the non-legally binding element of this deal that's attached to that withdrawal agreement and sets out what both sides hope to see as a future relationship. That may not be enough for members of Theresa May's Conservative Party, who of course have said they wanted to see not only changes but a replacement to the backstop based on the last parliamentary vote in Westminster. And this is where it gets tricky for Theresa May, because of course next week she has yet another vote in the House of Commons that, unless she comes back and says, I have substantial changes or I have replaced the backstop as you requested, it looks very likely that some of the hardline pro-Brexiteers in her party will not support her version of the deal. And this is where it gets interesting. In the building behind me, Guy Verhofstadt, the parliamentary Brexit coordinator on the European side, having met with Theresa May, said that what he welcomed was a point put forward by Jeremy Corbyn yesterday. Remember that over the last couple of years, Labour Party repeatedly talked about 6 tests for Brexit. They've now come forward yesterday in a letter to Theresa May with 5 conditions they want met in order for them to support her deal, one of which is permanent membership of a, quote, comprehensive European customs union. Take a listen to Mr. Verhofstadt's comments on that letter from Corbyn.
We welcome also the letter that Jeremy Corbyn has written today to Mrs. May to offer such a cross-party exit, I should say, to the Brexit. And it's important now that this leads to a position in the UK that has the broadest possible majority, so that we can conclude this negotiation.
Now, what's interesting, of course, is if you listen to what the European Commission, the executive branch of the EU, says, they are negotiating with Her Majesty's government as led by Theresa May. They don't tend to speculate on what the Labour Party, for instance, will say, although Michel Barnier has, of course, met with Jeremy Corbyn in the past. But here you have a very senior figure on Brexit inside the Parliament saying that they like an idea being put forward by an element other than the British government. And I'm not going to pass comment on the merits or demerits of the proposal. All I am going to say, though, is that it does seem from those comments that what people like Guy Verhofstadt are trying to do is to push the British Parliament in the coming weeks towards a softer version of Brexit by saying we would welcome that as an opportunity. This is a way through this current deadlock, guys.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.